The last San Francisco Denny's that was once California's most expensive has closed. Closed. Let's get into it. Why do you think it might have closed? Here we go. Now, we covered the closure of the last Oakland Denny's. It was due to just straight up violence. Just crazy stuff was going on there. Fights were breaking out. I mean, people in the lobby, it was just nuts, right? It was just nuts. Robberies, stuff going on in the parking lot, just shenanigans for days, right? For days and days and days. And management finally said, well, we can't have this Denny's open. The interesting reason, now a corporate reason hasn't been given by Denny's as to why they closed. It was a difficult decision and we thought about it a lot. And this is not what we wanted, but we took all of our employees and we moved them elsewhere and come visit us at our other Denny's, just not this one near the Tenderloin. Yeah. That's all right. But the actual reason, let's get to it. The last remaining Denny's in San Francisco is shuttered after nearly 25 years. 24-hour diners chains, 816 Mission Street location. So where is that? Let's just take a quick peek, see. Where is that in San Fran? Oh, okay. Here's Union Square. That's where we've got the poop elevators. And it's interesting. Google is now basically taking off the word Tenderloin from the map. You zoom in. You used to be able to zoom in and Tenderloin would pop up somewhere. But, maybe the Tenderloin has got such a bad rap with its homelessness, open air drug use, buying and selling of stolen goods, human trafficking, you name it, everything that goes along with the homeless deal. Maybe Google is just like, if we take off the word Tenderloin, maybe it'll disappear as well. Maybe it'll just go away and it'll all be good. San Francisco will be back to its normal status, because San Francisco is in the midst of just doing some sweeps. They are sweeping things up. And my thought on that is that Gavin Newsom is putting pressure on down the line because he's going to make a presidential bid. He's putting pressure on London Breed right now. Get that cleaned up. All a sweep does is just move the problem around, right? Whack-a-mole. All right, got them out of this street. Now they're going to move over 2 blocks back, or they just move out as soon as the cops leave, because you're not solving the problem. But the issue has gotten so bad in California in general that Gavin Newsom is really putting the press out on, let's get this cleaned up. And if you don't get this cleaned up, we're going to withhold funding. Yeah, but this has been going on for years and years and years because of terrible policy. That's okay. Let our fellow human being just shoot up drugs in a tent wherever they want. It'll be fine. And all of a sudden, good Lord, this got out of control. What happened? Yeah. So 24-hour diners chain 816 Mission Street is in the Tenderloin. It closed August 1st. Franchise owner Chris Hawk told San Francisco Gate, as of August 12th, the Denny's sign had been painted over. Not shocking. We're the only store left, and we operated until the last day that we could. Diehards, Hawk said. The cost of doing business is tremendous. Here's the reasons, right? There's vandalism, and people come and eat and walk away, and there's no one to stop them. That's essentially the reason he gave. You got a bunch of people who know in California, specifically in San Francisco, you go into a restaurant, eat, walk out. Nobody's going to do a thing. What's the 911? How can we help you? Somebody just ate in our restaurant and they walked out. I mean, is that the extent of the crime going on? We'll send a police officer within the next 2 months. Hold on. There's vandalism and people come and eat and walk away, and there's no one to stop them. So you got too much food being eaten and people just booking it out the front door. And you know what? Why wouldn't they? If they don't have money and they're hungry and, they spent all their money on drugs, Denny's is a legit option. I haven't eaten Denny's in years, but when I did, I used to enjoy the Grand Slam. I thought that was kind of a perfect combination of, breakfast food. It was good. I always enjoyed eating that. Not very healthy. Yeah, it's mass produced, a lot of grease, not good for you. But if you need something, it's like the Grand Slam. I was down with that. I was okay with that. Hawk claimed that dining and dashing was a big issue at the Denny's near Union Square, which he said cut into the restaurant's profit margins. Oh, weird. Can't imagine that being a thing. People walking out without paying cuts into your profit margins? Yeah. Now, this is just another indication of the social experiment of just letting the homeless and drug addicts run free throughout society has wildly failed. You've just got business after business after business leaving this area because, interestingly, dining and dashing is a big issue and it cuts into profits. Who knew? Who knew? I mean, I wouldn't have seen that one coming, would you? Yeah, clearly. If you're new following this show, I am joking. I am making absolute fun of the fact that we've got these social experiments going on. Let's sweep all the encampments. We really got to do something. You're not doing anything. You need to put people into mental institutions. You need to put people into treatment. And then everybody else left over, they probably belong in jail. They belong in prison. So, those are your options. This whole sweeping thing or just getting people into housing temporarily, they're going to be right back out. They're going to be right back out. He also pointed to the lack of conventions in San Francisco over the past few years, which the restaurant typically depended on for business. Hawk used to be the franchise owner of a Denny's location in San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf as well, which closed in 2019, and still runs a Denny's in Tacoma, Washington. Wow. You got San Fran, you got the Fisherman's Wharf, you got Tacoma. That's aggressive. You're running a Denny's in Tacoma, taking your own life in your hands, right? Tacoma's got some pretty cool areas. The downtown has really turned around. It's got some physical beauty, but I always think of Tacoma and I think of Hilltop. I think of the Hilltop neighborhood where, wow, it was, let's just say it was a sketchy area for a young man driving a decent car that was doing real estate appraisals in the late 1980s. Yeah, it was, it was tricky. You got to make sure you don't take the picture of the wrong group of folks because otherwise they're going to come after you and they're not going to be happy with white boy just running around taking photos. And that was my job. You take photos of the subject property, then you got to run around and take photos of the exterior from the public street of your comparable sales. You do that at the wrong house. Oh, yeah, we need to get the heck out of here. And you drive like a madman to get away. It's a beautiful city. We love it. San Francisco. We have been here so many years, Hawk said of San Francisco, but I think city officials could make it more business friendly, should make it more business friendly. You think? How about California in general? More business friendly. California just got through recording a podcast on how Hollywood is moving to Texas because California is so unbusiness friendly. In Texas, it's all kinds of incentives, no income tax, all those good things. And that's why people are moving to Florida, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota, away from California and all its regulations. In December of 2022, San Francisco Gate food reporter Nico Madrigal-Yankowski, it's a mouthful, found that the Mission Street location was the most expensive Denny's in all of California, although he wasn't disappointed by his breakfast there. So here's that article. San Francisco has the most expensive Denny's in California. Now, I think here's the Grand Slam. Is this a Grand Slam here? I think so. You got toast, you got bacon, you got some eggs, you got pancakes. Oof, that sounds good, right? The reviews were scathing. The absolute worst Denny's in all the United States. Garbage do not go here, please. I beg of you. Worst Denny's, I would give 0 stars if I could. But an unexpectedly kind review came after Kenyon B. of San Francisco. He wrote, food was better than expected, good service, nice workers. The whole atmosphere was very comforting and happy. I did deduct a star because the man next to me was unfortunately assassinated towards the end of my meal. That's not a good review. He's joking, of course. Nobody got assassinated, but this guy went and did a review of it because it was the most expensive in all of California. So he walked down there. He said it was okay. I mean, it's Denny's, right? How much can you screw up the Grand Slam? You just got to fry that stuff, cook that stuff up to where it's not, absolutely just straight up raw. And you're going to be fine. You put enough syrup on anything, it's going to be good. And that is why I think so many people identify with Denny's. If you are really hurting for a food option and you don't know the town you're in and Denny's comes up, it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll get a salad there. You know, do one of those moves because you don't know locally, where should I go? You're not on the whole Yelp thing. Oh, it's only got 4.5 stars. What are we going to do? No, people identify with Denny's as getting a decent meal for an, allegedly affordable price. This one being the most expensive in San Francisco. The most expensive one, period, I think it was what that article was. And so now you've got a situation where you don't have enough folks walking around. You don't have enough business. You don't have enough industry, and specifically in that area, because not only did San Francisco clear out due to the pandemic, due to work from home, but then you've got the whole Tenderloin thing where the business, it's not conducive to business. You got a bunch of zombies, whacked out fentanyl driven zombies committing crimes, sleeping on the sidewalk, pooping everywhere. I mean, when you've got a poop emoji map for your city, that tells you something, doesn't it? You guys love all those videos I did where we talked about poop on the elevator at I think it was a Union Square elevator in the shopping mall. Poop on the elevator escalated, 400%? It was just some astronomical number because people weren't able to make it. Addicts weren't able to make it to the public restrooms, and they just, took a number 2 on the elevator. Talking yesterday to somebody about that. They were reminding me about that. And I'm like, how would that be to get on an elevator? And you go, that doesn't smell good. And you look at your feet and then you look over in the corner and there's just, yep, you got it. Pile of poop. So, those things escalated. And I don't know if you know this, but poop in an elevator doesn't exactly, it's not conducive to business where you're bringing people into a mall. Same thing with San Francisco. You've got a whole bunch of people who aren't there anymore because of your conventions, and all of the tourism that used to be in downtown San Francisco is no longer there. You don't have all the businesses there that used to be there. You've got a vacancy rate of commercial approaching, if not already there, at somewhere around 40%, high 30s, maybe getting close to 40%. And that's a huge, huge number of vacant office spaces, and you don't have the businesses backfilling. You've got some AI coming in, and that will backfill some of that, but it's not of a big enough industry. It's also one of those industries where so much stuff is just basically done online, right? It's all computer generated. So all of these issues have come to shut down San Francisco's most expensive and its only restaurant in the downtown core. It's gone. It's closed. And it makes sense. And you had so many folks that identify Denny's as a decent place to get a meal, especially when you got the 5-finger discount involved, right? Yeah, meaning eat and dash. Crazy. But what would you expect? What would you expect when you've got a policy where, criminal activity is just, it's okay. Everybody needs to eat at Denny's. And then Denny's closes down. We're in a food desert. This isn't good. What happened? Where did we go wrong? Why is everybody leaving for Texas? Well, yeah. We just talked about it. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up on the next episode. Bye for now.